Hi friends, Vika here. I know it's been a minute, but today I wanted to take some time to talk about the goals I have for this upcoming year of 2020. This includes both my reading goals and my channel goals for the year. So first and foremost, I'll talk about my reading goals. And so my reading goals this year are, one, to read 40 books by the end of the year. That's my reading challenge, my Goodreads reading challenge. 40 books. So that averages about 3 books a month. And so my goal is to read at least 3 books every month. I know it's going to be give or take a few months because, you know, sometimes I'm more busy than others and I don't know what my school schedule is going to be like for the next coming months. And so, yeah, 3 books a month, at least 40 by the end of the year. My next is to finish these books. These are my most anticipated. This is my TBR, and instead of doing the 20 books I want to read in 2020, that's a lot. That's like literally half of my TBR. I didn't want to be constricted to that many books to read, because then I'd be rushed and I would only be reading those, and I wanted to leave some more space for me to read whatever my heart desired, because I found that throughout the year last year, it's like I was just sticking to my TBR list and it was hard to read what I wanted to read, and that's what reading's about, you know? I'm gonna read what I want to read, and then I'm gonna tell you about the things I read, and that's literally it. A little tangent, but still. So these are the 7. I picked 7. I was gonna do 5, but I couldn't just pick 5. And are all of these the sequel or the second book in a series? Yes. So are they all essentially fantasy? More or less. There's 2 that aren't. Is there a problem? I don't think so. So these are the books that that are on my TBR this year that I have to finish by the end of the year. The first book on my want to read list for 2020 is Red Seas Under Red Skies by Scott Lynch. This is the book that follows the lives of Locke Lamora. I gave that book 5 stars. I really loved it. I'm really excited. It's like an Ocean's 11 meets some kind of medieval mystical world, and it was super exciting, and I'm super excited to pick this up and see where Locke Lamora ends up. The next book on my TBR is The Well of Ascension by Brandon Sanderson. I haven't put that video up yet, but I have officially read Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson, and I loved it. I gave it 5 stars, and I'm excited to read The Well of Ascension by Brandon Sanderson sooner rather than later, but a lot of these books are big, chunky, fantastical books, and I don't know when I'm going to get to all of them, and they all take a minute to read, so I'm excited. The next book on my TBR list is The Obelisk Gate by N.K. Jemisin. I read the first book, the 5th season. This is the 2nd book in the series, and I also gave it 5 stars. All of these books, essentially, I gave the first book 5 stars, and I'm so excited, and I love series, and I have a problem. I've started so many series. I know nothing about these books because I want to go in to them blind and just enjoy them when I read them, and I don't want to read the synopsis because it might ruin it, you know? Next is The Vanishing Stair. I was looking my former videos, and I kept calling this book The Vanishing Star. It's not The Vanishing Star, it's The Vanishing Stair by Maureen Johnson. The first book is Truly Devious by Maureen Johnson. I have some videos where I talk about that book. I really, really enjoyed it. It's a mystery set at a boarding school, and who knows? Maybe we'll finally solve the mystery. Probably not, because there's a 3rd book that's been released recently, and I gotta read this before I read that. Next book is Vengeful by V.E. Schwab. The first book is Vicious by V.E. Schwab. Super villains, essentially, fighting who have grown a moral conscience, so to speak, and I'm excited. I'm super, super excited. Next is The Dragon Republic by R.F. Kuang. I finished Poppy War last week, I think it was. The Poppy War is the first book. It's a fantastical depiction of real-life events, inspired by real-life events from the war between China and Japan and all of that history, and it was so good. There was amazing character development. It just took me forever to actually finish the book, because I first started it as an audiobook, but I didn't finish the audiobook because it was like 35 hours long, and then it took me a minute before I purchased the book, and then by the time I actually picked up the book and actually read it, finished last week. Anywho, that was like a whole like 4-month thing. But The Dragon Republic, super excited. Watch out for one of my coming videos. I'm going to talk about the Poppy War and what I thought of it. I'm not really describing any of these books because they're all 2nd books in series, so You can find former videos where, oh, this is kind of heavy, where I'm talking about them. So the next book on my TBR list is The Wise Man's Fear by Patrick Rothfuss. I'm actually like a quarter of the way through this already, but the thing is, it's like over 1,000 pages. Almost 1,000 pages, and look how chunky this book is. So this is gonna take me forever, and when I say forever, forever to finish it. You not see that? And it has like the very thin pages that are like that you can rip very easily. It's gonna take me a minute. Name of the Wind, I talk about it a lot. 5 stars. The thing about this series though, it's not finished yet. There's supposed to be 3 books in the series, but there's no word of when the 3rd book's gonna come out. So if you don't like to pick up series that aren't finished, I don't recommend this series. But other than that, I love this series, recommend it highly. So those are the 7 books on my TBR. There's my goal is to read all of these books by the end of the year. My next goal of this year, reading goal, is to finish 5 series by the end of this year. And because I don't know if you've noticed, but I have started quite a few series. I started them, I keep starting them, but problem is finishing them. So hopefully I'm able to, you know, finish 5 series by the end of this year. My next goal is to read 3 nonfiction books. Pretty straightforward. I don't read enough nonfiction because, you know, I'm in school too much and I'm already getting thrown out knowledge. I kind of just want to escape to a magical realm where I'm carried away and not worried about the troubles of this present world. You feel? You feel. Another goal I have is to read 1 book that's published in 2019, just so you know I stay current, because I'm kind of behind on a lot of trends. If you haven't noticed with my TBR, a lot of this is like old news, but I'm trying to catch up, and so at least 1 book published in 2019. My next goal is it's a reading goal, but it's a financial reading goal. I have this issue where when I'm stressed out, I go and I buy a book, and then it sits on my like shelves, and I look at it, and it makes me so happy, but I don't actually read it, and so I end up A, spending money, and B, not reading, and C, accumulating a ton of books that I have not read. And so I'm trying to like narrow it down. So this means that I'm gonna have to either be A, utilize library more, or B, read the books on my shelves without spending money. So there's that. You guys hold me accountable to it. If I fail, that's gonna be bad. I don't want to fail. I don't want to buy any more books. I have a ton of books. Even like this TBR, I should be set for like ever. And my next one is like kind of a habit I have, and I kind of don't like this habit, and so I'm trying to stop it. Is I want to be only reading no more than 2 books at a time. So I have this problem where I pick up a book, I start it, I put it down, I pick up another book, I start it, I put it down, I pick up another book, I start it, and I put it down. I don't want to be doing that. I want to stick to a book, finish it, put it down, pick up another book, start it, finish it, and then put it down. You feel? You feel. So that kind of means I was just looking at my Goodreads account this morning, and I still have like 5 books that I'm currently reading. So I have to finish all of those before I can start this goal. And one of those books is The Wise Man's Fear. So I have to finish that. That's probably gonna be one of my ongoing ones. You know, it's gonna take a while. I showed you how big it was. So many pages. Those are my goals for the upcoming year of 2020, my reading goals. And now I'm gonna talk about my channel goals. One of my goals is to be able to post 1 video every 2 weeks. Not very often, but the thing is, like, I'm in grad school and I like didn't post anything this past term, and my goal is to do it once every 2 weeks. I feel like that's super feasible for me. My next goal is more of like how I'm going to be structuring my channel from now on, or how I read. I'm going to post a review of every 3 books I read instead of doing a monthly TBR and then a monthly review. I feel like that how it ends up is I end up too close. Like I film those like in the same day, and then some books carry over, or like I don't. It's just very messy on my end, and I don't like how I did it the past year. And so I think I'm just going to post a video for every 3 books I've read, and that way I can talk pretty concisely and intricately and in depth about the books that I read, and actually give you thorough reviews, which is, I know, what a lot of people come here for. Those are my reading goals and my channel goals for the year. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Question answered in the comments below. What was your favorite book that you read in the year of 2019? Okay, bye you guys. It was great to see you again, and I hope to be seeing you soon. I've made a schedule. I'm hoping to stay consistent, but I apologize ahead of time if I'm not. See y'all soon. Bye, friends.